Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. I know this video is a little bit different, but we are viewing this really cool park that I went to, and I don't think it gets enough credit. This is in Pennsylvania. It's called Reptile Land, and I do want you to see some of these cool shots I got on the way there. So make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Upon entry, there was this really cool sign out front. We saw some cool masks in the lobby, and we also got to see this really cool gift shop with a bunch of cool stuff and treats and things. The next thing that we did see was a food bar and like a little restaurant that was really cool right next to it. More masks on the walls and stuff on the counters for decoration. I really think that it was a cool time, so look at these guys. And yes, the Crocs were a little bit hungry. Look at him. He's got like red eyes.
He's albino.
Now these are the dinosaurs that rule the earth today. And then my siblings promptly decide to name them Billy, Bob, and Jeff.
I'm gonna name that one Bob and that one Billy.
Bob and Billy.
Hey, Bob. Billy and Bob. Billy, go first. And together, Bob. They're Billy Bob.
And that one's Jeff.
You would like to see?
Yeah, Billy Bob.
I promise. We got $10.
Jeff, Billy, and Bob.
Do $10.
All right. Okay, fine. I named Jeff, but still, it was a really fun time. The next thing, we got to see some birds, as I promptly said. Smells like birds. So, after that, there was a lady in there watching to make sure nobody would touch the birds, but there are a bunch of, like, parrots and other little birds in there, like big birds, small birds, maybe some in the same size. And, like, they were all over the trees, too. And then we need to leave because one of my brothers touched one. Yeah, I'm looking at them now. Oh, man. And one of the coolest parts of this reptile land is that they let a live peacock run around the zoo. Dinosaurs, okay. Why did it look at me?
Cool.
Yes, they had dinosaurs that were not only animatronics. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It was very interesting seeing as my brother asked to touch it, and did you see a no touch sign? No. Yeah, it was kind of funny. But then we saw a bunch of other stuff like emus and other things that are coming up. It's Australia's steroid chickens. What's wrong with these? Guys, there are emus over here. It's like, do you have food? This is probably the last time I'm going to talk into this video. The only problem is because I don't want you guys to think I'm a total yapper. So I'm just going to shut my mouth. And yes, the audio has been cut for some reasons I'm not going to specify. It's like Jurassic World. What do you mean shoot you?
No, don't fight me. Don't give me that attitude.
Sean? Back to the Jurassic World, they said. Oh my gosh, look at the
Baby, guys, there's a fence there for a reason.
guys, look at the peacock. By the way, guys, dinosaurs do not have feathers. Of all the kids, it's you guys who sit there. It's actually kind of funny. That's actually good. That's really funny. Cue the Jurassic World music.
There's so many rocks in my shoes.
What's this one?
How warm it's gonna be in here. Look how hi guys,
Yes.
my name's Asher by the way. Look how warm it has to be out for the moon jacket to be out. Do you feel it? I'm sure.
No, not yet.
I've been in
This is the place I remember.
videos. But look,
Whoa.
look up there. He ate that. See? No, look over there. He ate
Look,
that.
oh, look at this guy. A YouTube video.
I think
He's scared. Just
no, the girls are.
Hello, buddy.
Why are we about to lose a third of our amphibian biodiversity?
I had to put a smile
Some
on
of the
him.
problems are obvious.
Taking a look at the biodiversity of the rainforest, the animals living in that area, some of the plants living in that area, and how each of them work on surviving in one of the most competitive but highly sought after places in the world. So, rainforests.
There's animals, you know?
Rainforests have more biodiversity in them than anywhere else in our planet, especially for the small amount of space that they take up. We find pretty much all manner of flora and fauna living in that area, all the way from tiny, tiny little insects up to far larger and often predatory animals.
What is this about?
Oh, see?
There's a box. Wait, why can't we see the box?
Yes.
It's a secret. There's a lot of them. Oh, that one's a spider.
Now then, many of the animals living in our rainforests are going to need to find specific roles and niches to fulfill. So we're going to start by taking a look at maybe some of the slightly grosser animals in that area, as well as a few, but these ones do perform an incredibly important role. And that is the role filled by, in this case, the Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Now, these animals are what we call detritivores. Do we have a guess what a detritivore is?
It's a treat.
Do we know carnivore? What does a carnivore do?
Me.
What's a carnivore? Yep. Yep, it eats meat. It would eat you. Do we know herbivore?
Plants.
Plants. What about omnivore?
Both.
Yep, both.
And that's what we are.
Yep, we are indeed omnivores. So, detritivore. So the vor part is what is the eater of, basically.
I don't want to pet.
Do we know the word detritus? It's an old word. It's an old word. It basically means rubbish. So it is the eater of decaying old rubbish and decaying fruits, decaying animals. So the detritivore basically is going to eat all that old decaying matter that a lot of the other animals don't want to eat. So they're going to go and they're going to find all these old rotten fruits laying on the ground. They are going to find old animal bodies laying on the ground, eat them, break them down, and then they're going to wander off and they're going to go to the bathroom. And that bathroom, and when they go to the bathroom, it's going to put a bunch of the nutrients that they ate back into the soil. So, very big question here. Do we think rainforest soil is good or poor in quality? Do you think it's really good quality for rainforest soil or really bad? Good? Good?
Good.
So this is a tricky question. Rainforest soil is actually some of the worst soil in the world. And there's a good reason for this. Pretty much all the nutrients in the soil has already been pulled up by pretty much the amount of plants that live there. So just because of the amount of trees and the amount of plants living there, their soil just doesn't hold enough nutrients for them all. They're already pulled all up. So detritivores like this that take those nutrients and put them back into the soil are incredibly vital for new plants to be able to grow. This is also why that many of our rainforests that we're losing are normally removed for agriculture. And a lot of what's called slash and burn forestry is done. So like basically, they chop down a bunch of it and they just burn the area. That basically takes those nutrients again. It also puts them in a layer of very nutrient heavy ash on the top of the soil. But because the rainforest soil is pretty poor in quality, it doesn't keep the crops growing for more than a few years. So then they abandon that, and then they move to another and another and another. So that's a big part of that's one of the big threats of why we lose rainforest space, is to try and make farms in these areas, because tropical farms they're going to grow some things that other places can't, but the quality of the soil is not very good, so it doesn't sustain those plants for long. Because again, in many artificial places you don't have detritivores like this to break down all those nutrients, because they're normally all taken away. Like the plants that grow something, they're all used for something or other. There's not much that puts those nutrients back in. However, in a natural habitat, the rainforest has an enormous amount of insects living in it. Many insects are detritivores, and they're going to break down many of those nutrients. But we need to have some animals to help to keep them in check. So, what kind of things might eat our detritivores that live in the rainforest? Lizards. Yep. Frogs. Lizards and frogs both really like eating a lot of insects.
Birds.
Birds. Yep, they're going to eat a lot of them as well. So, my main focus for a lot of this talk is going to be both niches and kind of linked into the food chain. If I just kind of talk rainforest, I'm going to meander all over the place. I'm not going to have any cohesive thought to the entire thing. So, who I have here is one of the animals that's going to eat these detritivores inside of this mysterious box.
Tell me if it's a little.
It's a snake. So,
It was a frog.
he's cute.
So this is a smooth-sided toad, also called spotted toad. So you'll get maybe 4 times this size, so they get to a pretty good size.
That's huge.
They're pretty big toads. Yes. These toads are going to eat all kinds of different insects, so they're going to help keep those insect populations in control, because even though they perform a really important role, it's very easy to have too many of them. So they need these predators to keep their numbers in check. Now, frogs aren't really known for having a lot of defenses of their own. And they're a nice bigger clump of protein than your bugs are going to be, so there's lots of things that are going to like to eat frogs. So do you know how a lot of frogs and toads defend themselves against predators?
Hide.
Some of them might hide, but it's a bit difficult for a frog this size, and it's going to get this size to hide.
Poison.
Poison, exactly. So, if we come a little closer for a moment, you take a look to either side of this thumb. You'll see a little bit of a gland on the back. You can see a bit more easily this side, closer to the light. But you can see these glands just to either side of my thumb, right above where this one is. So those glands are where the frogs store their poison. So many of them, especially with toads, is going to be up on the shoulders. And that poison is the main deterrent to stop things from eating them. Now, in the rainforest, you have a drastic difference in the levels of toxicity with a lot of these animals. You know, something like a smooth-sided toad, it's not really all that toxic when it comes to the rainforest. Because, do we know some of the most toxic frogs out there in the rainforest? Yep.
Poison dart frog.
Poison dart frogs. Have you been through our main gallery yet?
Yes.
So you've seen our poison dart frog display? Did you see the really shiny mint green ones?
Yes.
So those are species that are called terribles. They have enough toxin in their skin, in the rainforest, not here, to kill 2 African elephants in a single dose. Or they could wipe out, or they have enough to kill 20 adult male humans. And again, that is in a single frog. So compared to that, like these ones aren't really all that toxic. Pretty much nothing eats a poison dart frog. It's not worth it. And there are many frogs that mimic the poison dart frog, because like even if you're harmless, if you look almost identical to something that can kill a predator about 70 times over, most don't take the chance to eat you. And if they do, they probably just get the one chance, and then they're going to mess it up at some point. But many of these frogs and toads are going to be some things that keep the insect populations under control. So their niche is basically, so niche is another thing I talk about with a lot of these shows as well. Do we know what a niche is? A niche, or a niche, depending where you're from sometimes.
Very specialized something.
Yeah, it's the very specialized something that an animal will do to help it survive. So it's kind of like its job. So like the tritivores, they kind of work like gardeners. They're moving around and they're putting fertilizer on the soil to help keeping it grow. Yes?
When will you take out the next animal?
When will I take out the next animal? In just a minute. The next niche for these ones is kind of like pest control. So they go around and they keep those insects populations under control. And many of these animals might have very similar niches, but they're normally going to have some way to split it up. Because if you have two animals that have the same niche in the same area at the same time, only one of them is probably going to be able to survive. Who we got next? Well, let's go with you. So who I've got for my next one?
It's a lizard. Yeah. It's a lizard.
It's a lizard?
You can see his hand.
Mr. Lychee. You being a spoilery spoiler.
Yes.
So then,
So cute.
so this is Mr. Lychee.
See a gecko?
Mr. Lychee is the largest gecko species in the world.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Can I pet him?
No. He's also pretty old. He's an old man. He only comes out and does a few shows at this point because, again, he's old. He's mostly retired.
He's doing the show right now.
So, Mr. Lychee does a couple of different jobs. So sometimes animals will fulfill multiple niches. So if someone kind of horns in and tries to take over a space, they've got a backup. So, Mr. Lychee is both a pollinator. So he's going to go around and he is going to drink some plant nectar on the occasion.
Cool.
And many rainforest areas have plants up in the canopy itself. So they're allowing animals such as these geckos to spread some of that pollen around and keep other ones growing. But they're also going to eat fruit and they're also going to eat insects. So they fulfill many different roles. So they have a bit of redundancy if one of their main roles gets taken up. Yes?
What's that box for?
What's this box for?
Yeah.
This box is for where I put a child that's naughty. Normally with a rattlesnake. It's normally where I put a rattlesnake. But I don't have a rattlesnake for this one because most rattlesnakes are not rainforest. Now, Mr. Lychee, again, it's a nice big chunk of meat. It's a nice snack for a lot of predators. So he's going to rely on his camouflage to keep him hidden during the day, and he's going to do most of his work at night. So you can see here he's got these cat-like pupil eyes. That's one of the giveaways that the animal's going to be active at night. So, many of your typical pollinators are going to be insects or birds, most of which are active during the day. So this way, he's able to go around and he's able to avoid many of the daytime predators, but can do some of his other activities at night where there's less predators and less other animals trying to do the same role that he is. So this is something that, fancy word for this one, is we call niche partitioning. So another example we might know of this one is think about hawks and owls. So they both do the same thing. They both hunt a lot of rodents, but one does it at night, the other does it during the day. Now, Mr. Lychee also does pretty much all of these roles up in the trees. So sometimes they're not going to split the role that they're doing just by time of day. It might be just enough to have one up in the trees doing this role, but you can also have others that live down on the ground. So, some animals will kind of go all in on a single niche, or you have ones like Mr. Lychee that's going to fulfill multiple different jobs so that he keeps himself nice and secure. He also is only found on one island area in the world. They are only found on the island of New Caledonia.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So many of these animals, especially rainforest ones, do not have a wide range. Because there's so much competition in these areas, they normally live in one very specific area. Because if they lived elsewhere, there is probably something else already doing that job that they would be trying to do. So they wouldn't be able to get established. We also have some of you might have seen some of his friends in the main gallery. So this is a baby yellow-footed tortoise.
He's so cute.
Now, the yellow-footed tortoise,
Are we allowed to pet him?
I can maybe let you pet him. Maybe. So what he does is this tortoise is great for seed dispersal. So many plants up here rely on wind to move them from place to place. We've got a lot of open plains, a lot of hills, valleys to blow pollen through, and a few weeks probably, it feels like, of the year, everything turns.
Something just fell on your shoulder.
Yes, it did. It's a bug.
It's a bee.
It's a stink bug.
Go away. Yeah, go away. It's a stink bug. So we've got we've got a couple of weeks of the year, everything turns yellow. And that's all the pollen that's being blown everywhere to let all the other plants live. We talked a little bit about pollinators that will spread plants directly from pollen from plant to plant. The other big thing, so I'll ask you a little question. Do you know where most of our fruit originally came from?
No.
Water.
A hint.
Rainforest.
Rainforest. And this is because fruit is basically grown as bribery for animals to eat the seeds. So they grow a nice juicy amount of food around that seed. Fruit typically has a lot of sugars in it. So the animal comes by, typically in the form of a bird, or in the case of a larger fruit, once it falls to the ground, something like a tortoise. They come along, they eat the fruit, they swallow the seed. And the bird then flies away, or in this case the tortoise, wanders off. They don't really have territories. Tortoises just kind of, they just wander, they amble all over the place. They'll do a lot of grazing, but they'll also eat those fallen fruits. And another thing tortoises do a lot of, especially for reptiles, is poop.
He's trying to swim away, but he doesn't realize there's no water.
Tortoises don't swim.
Yep, they don't. So he'll just wander along, eat the fruit, and then when he goes to the bathroom, he deposits those seeds a long way from the parent tree. Because if you try to plant a tree right underneath the parent tree, that tree is not going to grow. Because all those nutrients are being pulled out by the parent tree. So these are spreading the seeds further away from them so they have a chance to grow, and they're basically being deposited in a nice pile of fertilizer. And some seeds will actually not sprout until they've passed through the digestive tract of an animal. So that is for an extra bit of guaranteed, like, no point sprouting underneath the main tree. Now then, if we like, we can give the baby tortoise a little pet on the back. One at a time.
He's a tiny cutie pie.
He's tiny.
Hi, buddy.
He's so cute.
Yes.
Now, I have one animal for us today. And this next animal performs the important role of an alpha predator.
Oh? I know what it is. It's a snake.
You think it's a snake?
I don't.
It could be a crocodile.
No.
He just said it.
Oh, it's gonna be a baby crocodile, isn't it?
I know.
Ah, it was a ruse. It was indeed a snake.
Yes, I knew it.
So this here is Winston. Winston is a boa constrictor and is native to the
By the way,
rainforest of
before you
South
ask, no, you
America.
can't touch him.
Now then, boa constrictors, again, fulfill an important role as that of a alpha predator. Now then,
He's falling.
what is it that make alpha predators really important? Little native thing here, because we're suffering a lack of alpha predators in Pennsylvania at the moment.
He's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So if there's no alpha predators, right, there's lots of an overpopulation of other animals.
Yep, exactly that. So alpha predators, again, keep these normally medium to larger prey animals in check. Otherwise, you have the same problem with deer that we have in Pennsylvania. And while that's just, might think, oh, that's more food for hunters, do we know what chronic wasting disease is? So it's a disease that's very easily spread amongst deer, and it is generally a pretty dangerous disease. So if you do not have an alpha predator, that's when disease tends to move in to take over that role, and disease is a lot less fun to deal with, especially if it can jump from one species to another. Yep.
Is this the last animal?
This is the last animal.
Oh.
So these alpha predators help to keep the population of herbivores and other animals further down the food chain carefully in check. If you don't let me finish, I will say no. Now, eventually, again, alpha predators do only live for so long, even if they're only messed with by other alpha predators that don't have an option. Everything eventually loops back around. You end up, all these nutrients always end up down on the forest floor, and it get broken down by the detritivores at the very bottom of this food chain, because eventually any nutrients taken up goes back down into that soil to be taken up by the plants again. So it's all an incredibly important loop. Basically, it's basically a nutrient loop to help to keep everything growing and stable in that area. If you take out any big part of it, you can end up with a very damaged ecosystem in many ways that we don't understand yet. Like looking at niches and some of the food chain, I've given us an incredibly simplified view of how some of this works. If I tried to give us a more detailed view, like if you look at a food web for a rainforest, like it looks like a Gordian knot of mess. Like it becomes almost impossible to pick up because so much of it is interwoven. But when you start picking out big parts, eventually the whole thing can lead to collapse. So everything in these areas are generally, in one way or other, incredibly important. Even if you fail to see the purpose of it, like with things like mosquitoes or ticks. I'm sure there's a purpose for them somewhere. We haven't figured it out. I would probably, if it wasn't important, I would probably prevent with them disappearing. But there's many consequences to a lot of these things that we just don't know yet, because it's the more we learn, the more complex and interwoven we find that everything is. And the rainforest is kind of like the capital of this, because there's nowhere, again, with more biodiversity and life than anywhere else on our planet. Yeah. Question. Maybe having an answer.
Do you know the exact number of ribs that snake has?
No, because I've not stopped to count it before, because I don't have enough time to stand here and count them all normally. I have a very long list of things that I need to be doing at all times. But I could tell you it is the exact same amount of ribs that it was born with.
What?
Snakes do not grow new ribs as they get bigger. They're already all born with those bones. Yep.
It's amazing.
Do we have any other questions for us?
Snake's ribs are bigger than me.
Can I touch it?
Besides, can I touch the snake?
Can I give it a smooch?
You know what? I'll let you touch the snake if you can answer 2 questions for me.
Okay.
Just to prove that you were paying attention. What is it that the frog and toad did? What was his job in the rainforest? What was his niche?
To eat the bugs to
Yep.
make sure that they stay at a good level, because it can be very easy to be too many of them.
Yep, exactly. And let's see. What other question? Easy one. What's the niche of the alpha predator?
What is it?
Poisonous dart frog.
No, his niche is not poisonous dart.
It's-
What does the alpha predator do? Why is he important?
Because he
He eats like all the other like animal
prey.
a bunch of prey.
Yep, he eats a whole lot of prey, which keeps their numbers in check. Otherwise, you end up with Pennsylvania deer, where it's just deer everywhere.
And then people feed them.
Yeah, which again makes more deer. And you can actually see some areas where it's worse than PA. There are actually photos of browse lines where the deers can reach, and everything under it just gone and dead.
What? Yeah, because you're eating plants.
Yep.
And that's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you learned something from today's video. Bye.